Well, hello, everybody. Excuse my raspy voice. I'm still not really sick. I'm getting over whatever the heck type of illness I've had over, you guys, is going on 13 days. I don't think I sound nasally, excuse me, but my throat, and I was still kind of messed up. Apologies in advance. Thank you for joining late night. Tonight, the lovely Monica Rollins is in the studio from Our Paranormal World. You can find that on YouTube. Please subscribe. My other partners in crime, Krista, I think she's under the weather. I said, you know what? Rest up. All you need to do, Krista, I told her, give me a view and give me a thumbs up. That's right, everybody. Give me a thumbs up, because it does help promote analytics on the show. Brandi, who's my other partner in crime on this show, that girl's had a Christmas party, and she was debating whether or not to come on late night or go to the party. Brandi, not much of a party girl herself, but she was talking herself into it all night. I said, Brandi, go to the party. It's Christmas time. Go spend it with your friends. You can, we do this show every Saturday, every day of the year. Go to the party. So it looks like she took my advice. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I gotta bring on Monica. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good, because something was on mute. So anyway, good to see you. So Brandi, yeah, she probably at the party. Krista, Tex, I believe, is on the Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas. So I'm sure he'll show up,
Eventually, he'll pop.
I told Monica to send him a text.
I did.
And I'm sure he'll pop on. But if not, Monica, we can just roll with the flow.
That's cool. I can roll with it. I'm good at rolling.
I know you can roll. And I got something I have to bring up momentarily about the lovely Monica.
Uh-oh.
Which I did appreciate, by the way. Nothing bad.
I was gonna say, what'd you dig up?
No, I
There's all
actually
kinds of
do.
stuff out
Well, I'll get into it in a minute, Monica. I'll get into it. I was very, it was funny and pretty cool all at the same time. If this is your first time here, however, for everybody out there in chat land and listening wherever you are around the world, please subscribe to Bigfoot Michigan Rob on YouTube, our Paranormal World, Monica Rollins, the Blondes and the Booze Paranormal Podcast, Texas Front Porch, Donnie Cho says stuff, Paranormal Paul. Subscribe, everybody. Also, if you like our content, want to help support the show, the super chat is also available. Thank you to Mark Zier.
Arr.
Arr, matey. Speaking of mateys, Monica, you can also become a BMR pirate.
You sure?
Join today. Join today. Join the many. Join the few. Depends on your point of view. I say that just because it rhymes. Makes no sense. But yeah, what you get a picture of me with a bandana in the chat room. So thanks to Mark. Thanks to all the loyal subscribers, followers, money, donations. I appreciate them. Certainly not expected, of course. And speaking of pirates, I'm not wearing my traditional bandana, Monica, as you notice.
I did notice.
I've
I
got
figured it was a party thing, or
well, I had a party. Well, here's the thing. I cleared out about 13, 14 people. As most people that follow me know, I owned a bar for 13 years and I sold it in 2020. And I've kept relationships with my former employees. So every year I have an annual Christmas party for them here at the house. So they got here about 6 o'clock. Yeah, 6 o'clock.
wow.
Yeah, and we hung out and caught up on good times. So I've been doing now for this is my 4th year doing it because I truly, it was kind of Monica. It was kind of on a personal note for me when I sold the bar. It was right around COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't have a premonition, Monica, but I felt that, man, and I was looking to get out of the business because 13 years running a bar, 80 hours a week, 7 days a week. I was mentally drained, physically, emotionally, mentally.
Sure.
So I put it up for sale. And when I sold it, of course, the employees, I had 4 employees that were with me for 13 years. Yeah, I felt bad. So I paid their medical insurance for a full year until they found a job. So I took that out of the proceeds of the sales because I just love people. I love the people that I worked with. So I took care of them best I could. But I had to do it. And guess what happened? The guy I sold it to, Monica, we had the mandate here in the state of Michigan where it hit the bar industry and the restaurant industry especially hard. 3,300 businesses went out of business in that industry, Monica, including the dude that I sold the bar to. He wasn't in the 3 months and he had to close shop up.
That's terrible.
So I felt totally bad about. Gosh, I'm a fan of man, if you will, and boy, that was the thing. I was just so depressed, I'm thinking about other people, Monica, and I sold it at Thanksgiving. I sold it on Thanksgiving too, and then in March is when all the crap hit the fan, So I have the party for my employees. They're all gainfully employed, thankfully, and this, that, and the other. And I started up a bar consulting business. I don't know if you knew this about a year ago.
Oh, cool.
Where I go into, yeah, I do. I got the idea from John Tapper.
Yeah.
And I'll go into because a lot of people, and when I talk to everybody, I'm not bragging, but my bar was the best within a 20-mile radius. So I just decided one day I came up with this idea, not my idea. I saw it on YouTube. And I started offering my services to take bar businesses and turn them into profitable businesses. So I've been doing this for a year. When I go in, 1 hour, I I get their books. I look at their books. I go in. I pretend that I'm a patron. I order a drink. I look at the menu. Order maybe one of their top-notch foods, and then if they want my services, I write up a proposal, and we go from there. So I've had about 9 customers in 12 months, clients,
Pretty sweet. You do that across the country or really just around
just
where
in Michigan. If that takes off, it takes off. It's but it's helped out.
Well, maybe I could use you down in Texas if you want to expand.
I'll keep that in mind. Yes, because you kind of have an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I mean, being in the construction industry and we do restaurants and bars,
Okay, well,
we have clients, and then I have some friends who want to open a bar with me, and I was kicking the idea around.
Well, yeah, if you'll kick the idea with me if this is your personal bar, I'll help you for free as much as I can. No problem. Welcome, Tex. Tex is a busy man. Paranormal portal he just got off of. How you doing, brother?
Good. He's on his way over here too.
Well, that's great. That's awesome. Send the people this way. It's the late show, of course, the late night show. Late night, I should call it.
Yep. I told everybody I was heading over there and at the tail end of the show, and Brent said he's coming over too. I sent him the link.
I've got that's great. Thank you, Tex. Thanks,
sorry,
Monica. Krista's under the weather. Tex. I talked to Brandi and going to a party. She was debating whether or not to come on tonight or go to a Christmas party. I said, Brandi, do not come on. I'm on Saturday night, every night at midnight, every day, every week. Get out of the house. You deserve it. She works hard, takes care of her mom. Go to the party.
Have fun, relax.
And I was telling Monica, I just shoot 13 people out of here. Text. I always have my annual party. I had to because of the show. I didn't want. Yeah, I did. I had the annual party for my bar.
Monica just said she went and got drunk and got laid last night.
I didn't get laid. I said I got drunk.
No, I said drunk and laid.
All I heard was drunk. Shit, sorry.
I know it's Saturday night, Tex, but my lord.
Oh crap, we're live.
Well, we've been live. We've been live for 15 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Everybody please excuse Tex.
I was so drunk last night.
Tex must be tipping a few because we've been live. Your Tex is 12:15 my time. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. I had my bar people over, Tex, when I sold it. Every year I have the party for them, and I got them out, about 11 o'clock and so on and it was a good 6-hour run. So yeah, wow. I got to tell you, and speaking though, Monica, I got something I got to say about Monica.
Yeah.
But before I do that, I of course have an announcement which we're promoting. We're not going to speak a lot about it on the late show, but we definitely have to get it out there because we have our Crossing Realms conference. Yeah, going on. UFOs, Paranormal Cryptid, September 19th and 20th in Richmond, Missouri. Monica will be there. Tex will be there. Tex is the master of ceremonies. BMR will be there. The Blondes and Booze will be there. Donnie Cho will be there. Paranormal Paul will be there. Daniel Devo will be there. And also our lineup. And that's just us guys in this group. And we've also got great guests. Josh Hurd, Heather Mosier, Frank and Dan from the Haunted Garage. There's Tex, of course. William Lunsford, a researcher in Bigfoot. Greg Ogles, filmmaker. Ron Murphy, Lady Ann, Celine, Dr. Dean Bertram. Special guests include Dana Stricker, Ken Gerhard, and Brent Thomas from the Paranormal Portal has become a portal around our stations or our shows of late. So yeah, and he's I guess gonna be joining us soon. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I love Brent. In fact, I have 3 shows. I'm making all programming changes on the shows too, which I'm going to get into a little later. But before this, I was watching. I'm also going to promote my books, but the segue into promoting my books, I was watching Monica last night
through the window.
Yes, I was creeping outside her window.
Well, she was getting drunk, and
Yeah, I did not. Yeah, I did not. No, I did not join in. I did not join in. But however,
this is a peeping Rob.
I was watching a show, Our Paranormal World, with Monica Rollins on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday nights at 11, 10 Central.
Correct.
She was talking about Christmas time, and she just got off a show with she was watching her on with the other, what was the other man's name? On Blondes and Booze.
Oh, Dave
Schrader. Dave Schrader.
Schrader, yeah.
And he was talking about his promotions of the books, which was cool. It was kind of funny. So Monica says, speaking of packages, BMR, good old BMR's got a nice Christmas package tied in a nice bow for you that I'm present to you guys. You can buy both his books found on Amazon. A nice tightly wove package by good old BMR. Check out his package. Check out his package, nice and wrapped on YouTube. And thank you for that, Monica. And here they are, by the way. 2 books on Amazon. Book Bigfoot Michigan Rob presents True Cryptid Encounters, book 1 and 2. Type Bigfoot Michigan Rob in your Amazon browser, leave a review, and subscribe. Thank you, Monica, for that plug the other night. That was cool.
Hey, you are more than welcome. I'm sending everybody to all the nicely wrapped packages that are available this Christmas. I recommend you run out and get them while supplies last, because nobody wants a poorly wrapped, crappy package. They want a nicely wrapped, buy in bulk. They want a bulky package under their Christmas tree, or even better, shoved in the stocking.
Yeah. My package will fit in a stocking, especially a nice stocking over your Christmas fireplace mantle. But it's a book, mind you, so don't let it sit too long. We don't want to catch the house on fire.
Oh
my God.
Yeah. You sure? I mean, you can get books and T-shirts. I mean, you can just really jam it in there.
Yeah, you can. The stockings are pretty big nowadays.
Yeah. Stockings come in every size. You can fit all kinds of stuff in some of them. Just get a nice stocking that you can.
And the presentation of the stocking, over the Christmas tree works best, no matter the size.
Yep. It's not about the size of the stocking.
It's what's
how it hangs
within it. Yeah, boy.
It's how well it hangs on the mantle and how full you can stuff it.
Yeah.
Texas dying over there.
Oh.
So everybody knows.
Sorry.
And for everybody, if you're new here, yes, we, late nights, we do get serious. We're going to get into 2 serious topics, actually. The drone wars, and I've got a story for you guys a little later in the show. And so that's what we do around here. We kick it. We talk. We're pretty serious during the week. Not that we're not serious on this show. We just like to kick back, have fun. It's midnight on a Saturday, for God's sakes. And if you're up, you want to have some fun, too.
Bitch. Oh, God.
And if you need help wrapping a package, I'm willing to bet Donnie Cho will help you. Just give him a ring, because he's obsessed with package wrapping.
He's got unusual wrapping paper.
Yeah. I mean, he loves to talk about package wrapping. So next time Donnie Cho is on, I really recommend you hop on over to his show and discuss.
Donnie Cho could probably get a job as a package wrapper at your local retailer.
Yeah, I bet he could. or bar or wherever. And anywhere packages are found, he will be there to wrap them for you.
I don't know where you've been, boy, but you see, you won the first prize.
So, on to the serious.
Yes, before this goes off the rails.
I'm going to go off the rails if we allow it.
I mentioned there's a couple notes that I like to talk about. I'm trying to delay a little time for Brent, but I'll wait for him to come on. But I'm just going to get down with it. I mentioned like every year it seems like Texas Front Porch, BMR. Well, I can only speak for us. We tweak the shows throughout the year. At least I'm making a big effort to tweak mine. And just for everybody listening, the Tuesday night shows will remain the same with myself and Krista. And we do and it's always guest driven. So there's always going to be a guest on Tuesday. But we're also going to talk more about, we've done some UFO shows that are starting to catch on. So outside of Dogman, Cryptids, and Paranormal, we're going to be introducing that for the new year. So add a little more variety there. Cool. With me and Tex on Thursday on Brunch with Rob is simply going to be, I'm not having as many guests, maybe 2 a month, because it's hard to get a guy or gal that does not work at 12 or 1, I'm finding out lately. So that'll be sporadic guests, but we'll do our thing. And Brent Thomas has joined us, and he's become a staple on the Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob show. He'll be on with me and Tex for the rest of December. I haven't signed a new contract for January with Brent yet, but I don't know. He might be a staple. He hasn't talked about this with me. I'm just spurring this on with him right now as we speak. Hi, Brent.
How you doing, Rob? How you doing? Thanks for letting me come and play in your playground now, too.
Yeah, no, I love when you come on. I was just saying I'm changing the formats of the shows a little bit. And then I mentioned you've been on, and I said you've been on with us for the entire month of December. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, so that format of that show, we'll have guests. Brent will be a special co-host when he can, along with me and Tex. So that's going to be the same. But this show here is going to take a big change. A big change because
he's kicking me off.
What?
No, the girls are still on. The girls are absolutely still on. Tex has got a different schedule, so I'll be featuring more Tex if he wants to come on. Again, Tex is news to Tex as well. So as well as Brent's probably about Thursdays. So Tex will be featured more because he's got something going on. But what we're going to keep the variety, the hijinks, the hilarity, the seriousness. But we're also going to be doing something that I stole from Brent Thomas.
Oh, really? What's that?
Yes, we're going to be doing bizarre news to start the show, of which what I'm going to do, Brent, kind of, it's like the NFL copycat league. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 3 bizarre topics during the week. I'm not going to do it like you, Brent. I'm not copying you, but I'm going to read the headlines, and then we're going to do a panel discussion on it because we're still going to have story time with BMR.
Okay. Thank
you, Symphony. We're still going to do story time with Monica, Tex, and all of us guys because we all tell good stories and we break them down. But I wanted to make this more of a variety show on Saturday night because, as I mentioned earlier, we do cryptids all week long, so it's kind of time to have some fun. Sure. We have fun on all the shows, but just
gonna say they should all be fun.
They're all fun when you got us characters, they're all fun. But I'm trying to just make it more of a blend of things in the world. So with that being said, we're going to start the show with bizarre news.
Sweet.
Yeah. And now I've got to tweak this a little bit because I don't know how to add the music yet, but this is going to be the opening stanza. And then after the stanza, I'll read the headlines. But tonight I'm not starting with headlines. I'm starting with video footage. Yes, I am. How about that? BMR is getting better with the technical side. Of course, I can't figure out how to get out of this.
I was going to say your intro music was very Reiki, like soothing, massage parlor, like
Wasn't it? Yes, and the little creepiness was added. But this is something I'm going to be coming up with to start all the shows on Saturday. And here we go. I got to add music to this. This is a work in progress for the new year. Here we go. Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
You look at that.
Totally sexy, Rob. Jesus.
That's
Yeah.
professional grade right there. Look at that.
I like that so much. I'm going to play it one more time. It'll be a lot better with music. Here we go. One more time. BMR's Late Night Weekly Bizarre News Live.
You need to see if the old MTV news, like pum, pum, pum. You remember that? It was like a telegraph and then dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so I got to figure out
How about this? How about this for the music?
Oh, there you go, Brent.
There we go.
I got to get that.
I can send you that sound file. It's a free one that I found online. So.
Oh yeah, thanks. I'd appreciate that. Then I have to figure out how to dub it in, but I can figure it out.
I can do that for you if you want.
Well, thank you, Brent. I love Brent Thomas, Paranormal Portal. You can find him 3 days a week. Is it now, Brent?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's 3 days for the live show, and then the podcast and video podcast as well. As my star of the show this week is none other than our wonderful Miss Monica Rollins.
Yes, you stole my thunder. I saw Monica on that.
Yep, she brightened up my screens for a little while. God bless you.
Yeah,
that was
thank you.
Yeah, she did a good job. Monica always does a good job, and that was a good call on your part, Brent.
Put on the old razzle dazzle. Do what I can to keep it interesting.
Next time I'm gonna make you juggle or something too.
Yeah.
And of course, Tex hopped on tonight, but he picked like the wrong show, Brent, because it was all the news, and but Tex did a great job as he always does. But he's but Brent always puts on a good show. You do a lot of great stuff, Brent.
Oh, thanks. I do my best. I'm kind of I'm glad that you're diversifying what you're doing. I think that's doing these shows. I think it's really important to continue to evolve because we're in a crowded space where tens of thousands of other shows going on at all the time, and I think it's important to evolve and continue to try to bring people something new and interesting and fun to watch and so that's what I've always tried to do. So I'm glad that you're going to do that as well. I think that's the key to growth.
It'll be like a 20-minute segment and move on and continue on with what we do. And so, and with that, typically when I would do the weekly Bizarre News Live, I will bump with the music. Then I will move into the news segment of it. And here's the news segment. I got this from Anthony Exemplar. I tried to get him on because he did send me this footage.
Are you asleep or dead?
Huh?
Not much difference.
He's asleep. He lives in New York, and he's got a YouTube channel, YouTube TV New York, a new channel.
Oh,
he used to be S4 something, but he took it down for whatever reason. But he sent me this actual footage, which is not going to be copyright stricken or whatever, because it's from his phone. So I thought I'd start the show and get everyone's take on the drones, the drone wars, all this crazy stuff. And I'd like to get everyone's thoughts on this. I have my own thoughts. We've all seen it. If no one's seen anything about the drones, you've been under a rock. We're not specialists. Well, Tex. Yeah, well, here's what we can do with Tex. I don't know about Tex. I was going to remove him.
Nothing about. I've heard.
Did you?
I
did it on purpose, Tex.
Oh, I know.
Well, let me tell you, Tex.
Is the drone war thing? Is this the same thing? The sightings that I'm hearing about in Jersey?
In New Jersey, and I'm going to show you one right now. Is actual footage, and Tex, you're a smart guy. You'll have a take on this. Now, this is a drone, you guys. Now, it's not a claim UFO, but we can get into this. And let me show you this from my buddy Anthony from New York. who I know is watching. Here we go.
Look at him drone. Look at it. Look at this thing. Holy shit. Look at him drone. Look at it. Look at this thing. Holy shit.
So that was courtesy of Anthony Exemplar from New York TV, New York TV on his new YouTube channel. That was at his house in his backyard. He said, "Hey, Rob, man, I'll send you over the clips. You feel free to use it." And I got a couple of still pictures, right quick. That one, and of course, the one that was in the video. So yeah, I think it's interesting stuff. I mean, what makes it interesting for me, you guys, is that it's now all over the news. It's the cool thing is it's not aliens. They're saying it's not aliens, which I get they're not, and I don't think it is either. But around the room, really quickly, just briefly off the top of your head, and they're all over New Jersey and New York. Why is, I guess, the question? What's up? What's going on? I got other follow-up questions, but really quickly, Monica, I see your brain moving. What's your immediate thought when you start seeing this video stuff, this footage?
Okay, so my initial thought looking at that video is it sounds like it's pretty big. I haven't paid any attention to this drone stuff going on. Sounds big, but there's nothing for size comparison. There's no depth perception. I don't know how close that thing could be 6 feet off of his roof, and of course it's going to look huge.
I will say this really briefly, Monica. Yes, I get you. That was that actually made the news in New York because I saw the clip on New York. So again, the size we don't know. However, you could hear it in the background.
Yeah, you could hear it. Well, it sounded. I mean, that's why I said it sounded large. It sounded like a helicopter. It did.
Yeah, it did.
But I'm not overly concerned about large drones. I mean, if the military's using it for transport, Amazon's dropping packages off using drones.
Well,
they're not using that little tiny drone that you're playing with in the park.
No, they're not. That brings up a good point, which I'm going to refrain from my comments so we go around the table, because I've got some thoughts that I came up with that I think are kind of worth talking about.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. And I think, but it seems like they just sprang up over nowhere. I mean, just a tremendous amount. I'm gonna text Think a little longer on this because I know he hasn't seen anything yet. I'm gonna get.
Well, I've already got an opinion on it.
Great. Well, Brent, what's your take on it? No, I'm kidding.
Well,
Text, what's your opinion?
Brent is still a pseudo guest. Let him go first.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
you know what? I want him to back cleanup, perhaps.
Okay, that's fine too.
So
you got two major armed forces bases in Jersey. I know.
Yeah.
I was at one of them a few months. You've got an Army base and you've got an Air Force base right next to each other. This doesn't surprise me.
Man.
You got drones flying over Jersey. I mean, yeah. So, these drones that they're using, like Monica was saying, to deliver packages, these things are 6 feet across. They're huge. Even the drone that Tippa TV brought down and was filming the documentary down in Brown Springs with wasn't quite that big. It was about 2.5, 3 feet across. And that thing was loud. So yeah, I mean, these things, I don't, what's the big deal?
Well, I have comments on that. But before I get into mine, Brent, what's your take on it?
I don't know. I don't. Obviously, that looked very much like a terrestrial drone, and
Oh no, it is terrestrial. It's not alien. I'm not suggesting that. It's actually a drone.
But a lot of people are. Is my point. A lot of people are. Oh, we're being invaded by swarms of drones or whatever. And then I just again, what could it be? Well, it's probably just. I don't buy the whole. Iran's got a mothership off the coast and they're launching. some senator or something or a representative is saying, "Oh yeah, Iran's." Well, I'll tell you what they are. I'm going to tell you right now. Iran's got a mothership off the Atlantic coast, and they're sending swarms of drone into the U.S. And I'm like,
a mothership.
A mothership. That's
okay.
What I said. And I'm like, I don't think Iran is probably on that level of sophistication. One, and two, I'm not saying they couldn't pull off something like that, but I don't think they got the budget for it, honestly, and nor would they do that kind of provocation openly to fly drones over bases and stuff. So I don't know what the hell it is, but I think it could just be a psyop of some kind, trying to get people nervous up.
I think that's a great opinion. And again, on this show, we just speak our mind and text. I appreciate what you said, Monica and Brent. What I don't like about, and I'm going to disregard the alien invasion thing. I'm not going there.
Thank you, Tennessee Ridge Runner.
Yeah, thank you. Oh wow, I didn't see that. No one posted it. Thank you, Tennessee. That's awesome. I do appreciate that.
And that's where I was at. I was at Fort Dix.
Let's take out once again. Well, you missed the beginning of the show, Brent. Anyway, thank you to Tennessee. Thanks to everybody, and thanks also to Sinfully and to Mark. Thank you. So I'm going to remove the UFO equation because that's just convoluted. For me personally, there's a couple ways we can look, and I'm going to bring this up while I'm at it. Y'all didn't want to break the news to you, but
makes sense.
Well, so is Canada, but Canada's mail service is on strike. Tidbit for anybody sending packages. I found that out.
Part of the same union.
I found it. I found it out yesterday. I went to send a book to a guy who lived in Canada. They said, "Nope, can't send it." But here's something interesting.
I'm sure the ladies in Canada are probably picking up the slack since all the males are on strike.
It is the late night show. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you. I'm here all night.
Twitter. Now, this is from, of course, our buddy Elon. Okay, this is dated 9/29/24. Elon Musk on Twitter /X. Epic drone wars are coming. Drone swarm battles are coming that will boggle the mind. Of course, this is Elon Musk, and yes, that is from his account, because I do happen to follow him for whatever the reason on Twitter /X.
Was that a hell of a snort there?
Because I'm laughing kind of a little bit, I'm admitting that I follow Elon. He's very interesting, man.
I like
you have to admit that,
I do. Yeah.
But,
I mean, if anybody's going to know, I think he's probably a pretty good place to start since he's Mr. SpaceX, Tesla technology. The guy's invested in all of this stuff. So I kind of trust his judgment on this kind of stuff.
I hear you there, Brent. He's a fascinating guy. He's a smart man. I mean, if you could build up a company and become a billionaire, I think you're smart. I think your opinion is worth listening to. But my biggest concern with all this, you guys, is this, and this relates back to something that happened to me about 2 years ago. And I just did not like what happened regarding drones. I think drones are a big pain in the ass and invasion of privacy.
Oh,
Monica, you mentioned about, Amazon has drones delivering packages.
Yeah.
How do we know that there's not a bomb associated with that? I'm just going off the board. We'll get back to that later. But my
There's a reason they don't
experience,
fly them over the South. I'll guarantee you that.
but here's the thing.
They'll shoot their asses down. In fact, it's happened.
Yeah, well, Texas has guns. I know that. But
Texas guns have guns.
yeah, well, and Texas has his own guns. Texas has an arsenal. Anyways, getting back to 2 years ago, summertime, me and my buddy, about 5 years ago, I helped him build a pool. So I always invite my ass over there because I put my sweat, my blood, my tears into this thing. Had no idea how to build the pool. It came with no instructions. Not that men use instructions.
Of course not. No instructions, no directions.
But it was a 15 by 30 pool. We had to dig out the ground, lay the cement, lay the sand, level it with a laser level. First, we didn't even use a laser level. We used string. Yeah, string. Until, one of us said, let's buy
That's
a
old
laser.
school.
Yeah, we did old school, man.
That's old school.
It was old school until someone says, you dummies should have invested in a laser level. And then we did. It made it so much easier. But anyway, sweat and tears building this pool. So that was like 5 years ago. So a couple of years, 2 summers ago, we're in his backyard. We're out around the deck because there's a deck built around the pool as well. Yeah. And we hear this, noise. It's a beautiful day. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, middle of the week on a Wednesday. And it's a drone. Now, this drone flies in my buddy's backyard. And at first, everybody listening, it was several hundred feet up in the air, right? Then it starts getting lower and lower and lower and lower. And you guys is hovering above the deck platform, no more than 20, 30 feet is holding its position. And me and my buddy, his wife, and a couple other girls that happen to be there, and his kids, were looking at the scene that zoomed off. So we're like, that was odd. I mean, my one friend was getting mad and was going to throw a rock at it. I said, no, just maybe it's out of control. The guy maybe don't know how to use it. That's probably a lot of money, man. Don't do that. Okay, whatever. Then it takes off. So my buddy gets a text message about 20 minutes after the drone leaves. The buddy sent my friend this text, how would you like my drone? And it was firing off pictures of all of us hanging out on the deck. I mean, no, of course there was nothing, gratuitous going on.
Goodness.
But had there been, it would have been quite embarrassing. But just to know that a guy flew a drone in some dude's yard, snapped off pictures, clear, vivid pictures of all of us. That is what scares me more about the drone than all this other things that we're hearing about,
Sure. Yeah, there's plenty of people that have gotten in some deep doo-doo because they've been using their drones like voyeurs. And there was one guy who I think he was a real estate guy, and he got caught flying his drone like close to this woman's bedroom, and she noticed it or whatever, her bedroom window on like the second floor of a house, and he was apparently the realtor agent for a neighboring property. And his excuse was, no, I'm just using it to survey the property and to show the area. And they're like, okay, well, why don't you let us see your memory card? And sure enough, he had sat there and filmed this woman changing clothes and stuff. So it's like, there's all kinds of that's just so stupid anyway, but it's a whole different level of stupid, but there's, a bunch of creepy people.
That's true.
I certainly would not like anybody filming my package on my deck while I'm sunbathing, right, Monica? I mean,
Well, I mean, it depends on how nicely the package has been wrapped.
we discussed.
I have explained this a million times.
Sure.
Nobody wants to see a sloppy package.
That's right. And
It's
Brent,
gotta
you
be
missed
nicely
it earlier.
wrapped.
Brent, you missed the start of the show. Monica nicely put my package together on Amazon for my books that she mailed out. Thanks to
Yeah.
Monica for that.
I'm here to help. Donnie
Yeah.
chose the real package wrapper here, though.
Yes, he does a great
That
job.
man knows how to prep a package, right? Is
He does.
that what
He
we're
does.
saying?
He does. He's a great
Rob's
prepper.
never going to have us on again.
I know. This is fine. This is Saturday night. I kind of opened up the can of worms earlier before you were still with Brent on his show. Paranormal Portal, by the way. Subscribe on YouTube. So yeah, I mean, do you guys think though? And I have to go over here in a minute, but I gotta pose this question. You guys can shoot a fan on it, as Tex likes to say. Do you think that moving forward though, because I've got a text some guy sent me, which I'm going to read when I get back in a minute. Do you think though that should we have any worries? Now, Tex, you mentioned earlier about, drones are all over. I'll shoot them out of the air, this, that, and the other. But on a really serious note, do you think that there's any threat from outside our enemies, or does this pose a threat, you think, to national security outside of everything else that we go through every day in America?
Anything can pose a threat. Okay.
Anything. I'll let you guys talk about that for a minute. I got to do something.
I mean, we just got through going through all the whole balloon thing.
Right.
So,
we shut down a balloon. So drones 100% could be a threat.
Yeah.
If they're weaponized coming off of motherships, they're a threat.
Iranian motherships at that.
Yeah, Iranian motherships parked off our coast, no less.
Sure.
Yeah. Are they? I mean, now, when you say mothership, I've got to ask, like, is this thing floating in the air, or is it like under the? I mean, now that UFOs are in the ocean, it could be a submerged mothership. It could be, I don't know, like a Wolf class. They stole.
Sure. I'm gonna just go out on a limb here, and I'll probably burn in hell in some way for saying this, but I think the only Iranian submarine is not intentional. I'm just saying, I don't think they got the budget for this kind of stuff, and I think the claim is just another attempt to put a torch on the Middle East and create friction and stuff. It's like,
it doesn't need help.
I know, and this spinning this rhetoric and stuff. I don't know. I'm just so sick of the news in any.
Well, okay. Anybody who believes anything from somebody who's claiming it's a mothership. I mean, if it's a legitimate UFO claim, I get it. But if they're saying it's an Iranian mothership and you're taking that seriously, then
right, where'd they get it from? Timu? They get it from Timu or something? I don't know.
Right, exactly.
I don't know. I'm a dick, but I don't know. It just sounds so, I don't know, so stupid to me, and I don't use that word.
I mean, it's far reaching. It's far reaching for sure.
Well, if anything, the experimentation. I mean, honestly, I mean, maybe there are some people that are under surveillance and they're using the drones.
Oh, 100%.
No doubt.
Yeah, that doesn't.
What's your guys' take on the FBI supposedly being involved with this? Why would that be, I wonder?
The FBI involved with all these drones over Jersey?
Yeah.
Or are they trying to take down the mob using drones? Why are they over Jersey?
That's another great question.
Yeah.
Why are they just in Jersey?
Why Jersey?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the petrochemical state. There's other things to explore than Jersey, of all places.
I would, if, like I said, as far as the whole Jersey thing, you've got the two armed forces bases right there. One of them's an Air Force base, one of them's an Army base.
They have those in other states.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they're right there. They're on the coast. These can be exercises.
Yeah.
You know,
They could be,
really
Tex.
could.
That's a great point because these drones have also been flown over military bases.
I will say this. I will tell you this. Any drone that size has to have. It's got to be registered.
FAA for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got to register a flight path, like by law.
I will tell you.
Maybe there's because there's apps out there that you can track all the. In fact, we were using them when we were out on our last investigation, Monica. We were looking at the flight paths of the planes.
Right.
You know, I bet there's one out there for the drones.
Oh, I'm sure.
Probably.
Thank you, Donnie Cho.
Donnie Cho shows up, right?
Donnie Show says stuff found on YouTube. Great show today, Donnie, with Jason McLean.
Says the drones come from North Korea. As someone who's half North Korean, I'd like to publicly apologize on behalf of my people.
We appreciate that, Donnie, and also your gift wrapping skills. Thank you so much.
Yeah. They're gonna be in high demand this holiday season show. You're gonna be wrapping packages all over the place, all willy-nilly.
So
willy-nilly. I love it.
Okay, so everybody likes a good conspiracy theory. We do. Let's not kid ourselves. But I got to tell you, when I announced, and I just put in the title of this show, Night of the Drone, and I got inundated with a bunch of on my phone. I'm going to read something here. I want you guys to take and listen. Again, everybody's opinion is, I don't judge people. But when I kind of read this from this guy, I'm not going to name his name, I was a little kind of, when I first read it, I was like, holy cow. He says, hey, Rob, man, I see you're going to do the show on the drones. I got a guy that works in the military. He has been telling me that these are United States military drones that the public is not aware of, but they've been here. He goes on to say these are very high-tech drones. They're scanning the areas like mad because they are searching for nuclear terrorists or something like that on the ground that have infiltrated our country and have the technology to detonate a device or biological device at any time. So it's very important to note that our government is well aware and looking for possible threats to the United States on the ground by utilizing these drones. Now, we can laugh all we want about what this man sent me. However,
I believe it.
does beg the question that could be a possibility, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
I buy it.
Yeah, I just like a dirty bomb or something could be being implemented. I mean, that's nightmare fuel right there. That's certainly nothing to joke about, you know.
I'd buy that long before I would an Iranian mothership.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even hear about that. Was that a joke or was there something that's been
No, that's a
blasted?
press release from some
Oh, wow.
politician in Washington. I know exactly what this is. There's an Iranian mothership off the coast of the Atlantic, and it's sending these swarms of drones. It's like, what? That guy's
and just gosh, yeah. Our senators and just
I know it's just so stupid. It hurts. It hurts my. I can't understand that. Just so much dumb in one sentence. It's like, oh no. Oh, yep.
I could do a whole show on stupid things politicians say. Like,
You know, that's true,
Break
Monica.
down.
That's true. Monica, that's so true. I will tell you this. I don't really follow politics anymore. I don't talk about it because I just would argue with my friends, you know.
but sometimes the things are so profoundly stupid, even though you actively avoid the news and listening to it, it still makes its way to you.
Fool me once, Shame on you. Fool me twice. And
There's one politician,
well, shame on fool me twice. You ain't gonna fool me again. in the historical words of George Bush.
Yeah. I was a Bush supporter, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, I will say this though. One of the few senators, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm not a political guy, but I tell you what, though, there was one senator that they thought was kind of loopy, and I do believe that UFOs exist, and I believe aliens exist. I do believe in extraterrestrial. And I tell you what, Harry Reid, who's passed away from Las Vegas, was always trying to get this to be brought out in the forefront, right, about UFOs and aliens. And till this day, he always tried to get bills passed and have records opened. And I thought on the political side of things, I kind of liked him, and I don't really like politicians in general, not even my own. But I liked it. I liked that he had a movement on that. Now the other guy I didn't like was the guy. Do you remember the guy? I forgot his name already. That came in dressed up. It was in the Phoenix Lights, and the mayor of Phoenix went in wearing started his press conference joking about and had a guy walking in an alien suit. Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
we tried to make a joke out of it, and it pissed off a whole lot of people.
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did.
I can't remember that guy's name though. It's like,
Yeah, it slipped my mind because he's irrelevant today. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean,
it's like Trent or Trey or some weird name like that. Not that there's anything wrong with Trent or Trey, but it's just it's weird.
Right.
It's not that. Who was the mayor?
I still like the representative got busted with Bigfoot porn.
no, I'm glad I did not hear that story.
I didn't hear that one.
Look it up.
Now.
Either the representative or a congressman or senate. I can't remember. It's one of them.
They're all doing something.
Yeah, his name was Fife Simon.
Bizarre.
Yeah. What the hell? Bigfoot porn? Did I hear that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
You did, Brent.
No, I just didn't process it until just now. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, those words don't process easily through normal people's heads.
I know, not really. I mean, gosh.
It hit a logic circuit and did a loop, and I was like, wait,
Shorted something out on the way in one ear. Yeah.
Tex said Bigfoot porn. It's like, oh God, I don't want to mention this. No.
Yeah, no.
Huh.
Poor Rob.
No, this is this is a great show. This is what we do, right? Around the table, I got something to bring up. Around the table, any final
Leslie
thoughts?
Cockburn.
There's a movement for that.
How are these names popping up during the show like this?
Leslie Cockburn, July 30th, 2018, a Democratic congressional nominee in Virginia, accused her Republican opponent, Denver Riggleman, on Sunday of campaigning. This is from the New York Times, folks. I don't care. Oh my gosh, go away.
Send me the article and let me read it.
Yeah, I just forwarded that on, Chuck.
Well, it started in.
She accused him. That didn't mean he got busted with it.
No, just hang on. I'm trying to.
Unless one of his interns turned him in.
I keep getting pop-ups every time I try to read the dadgum story.
Of course you do.
You got to use the Brave browser. That does great at stripping a lot of that crap away.
Okay, so Bigfoot porn shakes up Virginia congressional race. Leslie Cockburn has accused Denver Riggleman of indulging in Bigfoot erotica. Things got hairy for a Virginia.
Oh, Lord.
That's my word. Please let me read the article.
In the news, Rob was demonetized last night.
Yeah. He just left the scene too. He was like, no. I give up.
Oh. Well, look it up. I mean, you got the information. You can look it up and read it, Monica, if you want.
No, I don't want to. I was like, let me read it on the air.
No, Texans scare me away. Like I told you guys earlier, I had a party at 6 o'clock and I got everyone out by 11.
Wow. That's
Yeah, I do. I'm not going over the story. I do a party for my former bar employees every year. I've been doing this since
nice.
20. Yeah, so
That's really cool.
We get together and catch up on old times, which is always a lot of fun. And so this one guy, I told this one friend of mine, I say, hey man, I'll call you a cab and go home, right? He's sitting on his car, passed out in his car. So I just got him in the house and I called him a cab. So
He was sitting on his car, passed out.
on his car. It's currently 18 degrees outside.
ooh,
Oh.
it's not good napping weather. No.
So
Well,
I got
mean,
him.
it depends.
I got him in the house right quick, right here out the door, and he's passed out.
You're critically injured. The cold weather slows down your heart
Yeah,
rate.
well, he's not.
But
He's
actually
alive.
save
He's
you
alive.
inflammation.
He's alive. I think it was too much tequila.
Oh, that'll work. That'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've had some of those experiences.
I contemplated not coming on, but I'm okay. But yeah, so. But at any rate, the show must go on. It is the holiday season, and after all, it is the late show. So right around the table, anybody final thoughts on that? Because I do have a cool. We'll turn this over to a Dogman entity I want to talk about.
Yeah, my final thought is it could be a lot of things. Nobody knows what it is. I'm not overly concerned about it.
Texas, what do you think?
I'm
Brian?
going with military exercise.
Military exercise. I agree with that. I agree with Monica and Brent.
I'm thinking Iranian mothership. Just
Going straight to that Iranian mothership.
I'm just going back to that. That one's just too far. I don't know what the hell.
Oh, what was that?
I removed the Iranian mothership just for a second. I'm kidding with you, Brent.
I'm gonna have to bow out though, guys. I've got my my boy out here, and we're gonna
Okay, well,
a little bit. But I just wanted to stop in and spend some time with you guys. Love you
hey,
guys.
man, it's always a fun show. Great having you, Brent. We'll see you
Yeah,
next
thanks for
Thursday.
popping on.
Next Thursday afternoon, me, you, and Tex, we're doing it again. So thank you, Brent.
Until then, you guys take care. Have a great night.
Thanks, Brent.
Good one.
Good night.
That's Brent Thomas from the Paranormal Portal. Please subscribe on YouTube. He has a great show. Known Brent for a long time.
He's the shoe. It's a great shoe.
Great
for
big
you tonight.
shoe. Great big shoe.
Shoe.
So thanks to Brent. Thanks for everybody for coming in, by the way. And while I'm at it, I want to thank Mark Z Hammer, Simply Wicked, True Ridge Runner, and Donnie Cho for your support and love. I appreciate you guys. That is awesome. And you don't know how much that means. So thank you so much. So I'm gonna go on with something more in the Cryptid alley. I thought that was pretty cool to talk about. Why not? It's breaking, it's news, so why not bring it up? And so we'll move on. I've got as we always do, we do a story, whether I tell one or any of the girls, and maybe Tex here in the future with his new schedule. So I'm sure we'll see a lot more Tex Saturday nights. So this is something that I think is pretty interesting. And I'm going to get on with this, and you tell me what you think. It has to do with a shaman. It has to do with an alleged werewolf, dogman type entity invading a home. It tormented this family for a little bit, and the son the young boy got really sick, right? And it's an email I got about last year. In fact, this is actually, I put this in book 2. I'm not going to read it. I don't read it. I'm doing the best I can from memory, but so it goes on. This guy is telling me he'll never forget the night when his 10-year-old son, Jake, he came running in his bedroom with his wife, Alex, late at night. He was screaming. he goes on to say, Mommy, Daddy, there's a monster in my bedroom. And he goes on to say that the son's scream was just, it paralyzed the parents. They never heard their child scream like this. And again, like all good parents, you're having a nightmare. But his dad did try to comfort the son, and he went and looked in his bedroom. He looked under his bed, looked all around the room just to kind of show the son that, hey, everything's fine. And so the dad says, Abe, you had a terrible dream, son. And then the son looked at the dad and said, hey, Dad, you looked in all of the wrong places. His dad goes, what do you mean? He goes, son, I looked under the bed. I looked all about, and he saw nothing. And Jake tells his father, Dad, you didn't look in the closet. That's where it came from, the closet. So the dad goes, okay, I'll look in the closet. He saunters over to the closet. He opens the closet door. And as expected, he didn't see anything in there. So he told us again, he tells his son that it's all good, go to bed. So right before, as the dad tucks his son back into bed, he goes back to the closet door to close the closet door, where he sees all the smattering of loose mud chunks laying on the ground floor in the closet. And kind of what made this strange, guys, is that this was in, I believe, 2020, 2021. It was mid-July in the state of Illinois, and they had not had a drop of rain in almost 10 days. The average temperatures were like in the 80s and 90s. And so this kind of didn't sit well with the father, is where the mud tracks in this closet were. Okay. So he went over and he inspected his son Jake's shoes and the bottom of his tennis shoes, his hiking boots, what have you. They were clean, as dry as can be. So the father doesn't read much into it. He goes off to sleep and tells the story to the wife, Alex, and they went to bed. Now, during this entire night, though, when the father goes to bed, everybody, the father, he tosses and turns. He has these nightmares. And he goes on to tell me that in his nightmares, he had strange dreams of creatures entering his head. He mentions like dripping fangs, bloody claws, wolf-like, oversized, beast-like men, right? And they consumed his entire night. In fact, during the night, he wakes up in a sweat. And he looks up at his clock. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. And he checks on his wife. She's soundly asleep. Goes and checks on the son, soundly asleep. So he laughs out loud. He's like, well, boy, what a nightmare. My son really got me, this, that, and the other. But he was still really spooked about the dream. And then he has this thought as he's sitting coffee downstairs in the morning. And then he has this thought that for a second, perhaps he wasn't dreaming at all, because I guess these dreams were very vivid and very lifelike. But again, he laughs out loud. About 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever, he wakes up. The wife, Alex, wakes up, joined him out on the back deck now, the breakfast nook or whatever. They're overlooking the wood line that encompasses the property. And he was on his second pot of coffee, this, that, and the other. And he's still trying to figure out these nightmares. And then he mentions it to his wife about what happened with the son and the nightmares he had. And then Alex, the wife, says, oh my gosh, I was having monster type dreams myself last night as well. And the husband goes on to say that his wife looked haggard, dark circles under her eyes, like she hadn't slept. And so, boy, our son really got us going. Neither one of us could sleep. We both had these creepy dreams. Yeah, they joke though. Werewolves, dripping claws, this, that, and the other. But the dad was very concerned though, and starts asking the wife about the muddied. Why would there be mud in his closet? Fresh mud. They had made mention though that in the back of their house in the woodline there is a stream or a river where around the banks of the river or the stream it is moist. So he had asked his wife, had they taken the son down? Has she taken their boy down for a hike? No, we haven't been there in forever. So young boy Alex gets up, they fix him breakfast, and the mom and the dad start asking him about the prior night where the boy doesn't want to talk about it, and he starts crying, and the mom and dad feel bad about it. So we brought it up, son. So they hug their son, say, "Don't worry about it. It was just a bad night for." They wrote it off as that. So before the boy goes back after breakfast, he had mentioned that he had a dream that night as well, and it was about Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf, and how it came to the house, their house they live in, and the Big Bad Wolf roared and blew the house down. So now the mom and dad think, okay, you were dreaming, because a couple nights prior, everybody, they told their son about the tale of Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf. So now they're a little more relieved that, yeah, they all just dreamt this Little Red Riding Hood tale together. So they're somewhat relieved. So over the next several weeks, however, though, everybody, the nightmares continued on with this family. The werewolves, the claws, the fangs, whatever. It got so bad, though, that their son got very sick. He got ill. He got very ill. They took him to the children's hospital. And boy, is he deteriorating health rapidly. The doctor said, "Oh my Lord, what's going on?" So they run all these tests. Don't know what's going on. Now, the man in the email says, "Rob, I'm not going to get into the prognosis, what the doctors were saying. He wanted to keep that private in case I made this public," which, of course, I told him I was going to. So the doctors had asked his family, though, what's been going on the last several nights. And the parents felt odd and told them about the nightmares, told them about the son, and told them about that the parents themselves were having these weird nightmares. So a few days go by, and the parents decide, man, our son is very ill. So they call both their parents. Alex, the woman, calls her parents, and the dad calls his parents, and they flew them in. They both of the sets of the parent. One set of parents lived in California, the other in Florida. They said, "Look, your grandson is gravely ill. We don't know the diagnosis. We don't know what's going on. Would you please come and visit us and spend some time with your grandchild?" They coordinated flights, and both sets of grandparents, excuse me, still a little sick, you guys, came on down and visited. So one night, the grandparents are there. They all visit Alex in the hospital. And then on the way walking out, the grandparents had said, "Hey, look, you guys, if you guys want to get away from the house and spend time together, because this has been going on for weeks, they were haggard, they were tired, they spent no time together, and they're concerned for their son." So the grandparents were very cool, and they said, "Look, we'll spend time at the hospital, we'll spend time at your house or whatever. the parents, the grandparents all had a hotel somewhere or a motel where they stayed, which was awesome, and told their kids, the older adults now, to take some time off. So as Alex and Jake, or Devin is the name of the guy, the son is Jake, they're going to their vehicle, and all of a sudden, an orderly, he walks out and he introduces himself as his name is Joe. And Joe says, I hate to intrude. I'm not a busybody, but I heard of what's been going on with the nightmares and the dreams, and with what's going on with your son. And he goes on to tell him that he happens to be a shaman, and he's a man that deals with spiritual demons or spiritual entities. And he thought that he could pinpoint this problem. Joe, I mean, so the wife and the husband look at each other. What you're crazy. I mean, come on, never heard of such a thing. Who are you? This, that, and the other. So this shaman Joe from the hospital says, well, I can help you. So the wife convinces the man, hey, honey, our son is in grave illness. Why not listen to what this guy has to say? So they agreed, and they invite Shaman Joe to the home. Both sets of grandparents were away at their hotels. And so Joe comes into the home. And he told the family that to not run away. He should perform a ritual and do not be scared. Do not run away. And just please bear with me. And please believe what I have to tell you. I don't know what's going on here. So as Joe, the shaman, is inspecting the house, he goes over to and sees the mud. And picks up the mud. And he investigates. He asked the parents where the mud came from. They said they don't know. It's been the dry season. We suspect it came, perhaps, maybe the sun snuck out, went to the river, dragged it in. So he goes about performing his ritual. So now he goes on into the living area where the fireplace was. And again, Joe tells him, okay, I'm going to start my ceremony. No matter what happens, don't run. We need to bear witness to whatever is about to unfold. Joe stokes a fire, and it was brought on by Shaman Joe to take the mud contents from the closet and disperse it into the fire. So after about 10 minutes, the fire is ablaze. The mud is dispersed into the fire. And all of a sudden, manifesting out of this fire was an image of a wolf-like beast. And it's inside and emanates out of the fireplace. And it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Alex and the husband, Devin, they're terrified. But they're standing their ground as Shaman Joe told them not to run, not to be scared. Hang on and just stay here. You must stay. The beast-like apparition, it comes out of the fireplace. It's 4 or 5 feet, and it starts raising to the ceiling of this home. It leaves out this horrific scream and dissipates into the smoke and fades away. Now, during all of this time, Shaman Joe is chanting, whatever he's chanting, praying, whatever verbiage you want to use. And as soon as the apparition, this wolf-like apparition disappears, he tells the family, hey, the evil's gone. The evil's gone. 20 minutes later, after this ceremony took place, get a call from the grandparents at the hospital. Right away, the parents, oh my God, what's wrong? What's wrong with our son? You got to get down here now. Right now. To the hospital. They leave it at that. So the mom and dad, they race to the hospital. They get to the room. They get where the son's at, into the room, look to the bed. The grandparents are there. And there's the son. sitting up, jovial. All of a sudden, he is full of life. The grandparents are delightful. The doctors are delightful. They have no. They said this is miraculous. Your son was lethargic, almost in a comatose state, not speaking. Boy, sorry guys, my throat. This is fantastic. We don't understand it. So the mom and dad said, well, your nurse, Joe, he was at our house and performed this ritual. Doctor looks at him strangely. Our orderly, Joe, our nurse, Joe, what are you talking about? There's no Joe that works here. They looked around for Joe in the hospital. No record of Joe. Didn't exist. He appears out of nowhere, claims to be a shaman, does this ritual. My voice is dying. I'm sorry. And boom. But the son as well. He did not give me the medical after that. The guy didn't want to get into the medical prognosis, but I guess everything worked out. I need a drink, you guys, so as you can tell. So anyway, your quick thoughts, and I need some water. I'll be right back. I'm losing my voice for some reason all of a sudden.
So quick thoughts, Tex.
Oh, put me in the spot.
So, okay, my quick thought is it was clearly a spiritual entity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I figured it was, since it's invading all the dreams.
Right.
And I think that it took the form of the werewolf Dogman because the parents had been reading Little Red Riding Hood to the boy previously. And I think that affected the child's psyche, and that particular entity latched onto that and used that to terrorize him. And it just spread over into the parents as well, right? Because they were having similar nightmares to the young boy. And as far as the dirt in the closet being the source of the issue, and the dirt seemingly came out of nowhere, I don't know what state was this in again? Did he say? Illinois. Okay. It's a little far northeast for skinwalkers typically, but they can travel. They can pop up anywhere. So skinwalkers, when they target somebody, a lot of times they will hide something on them. They will get like these little bone fragments and get them. They'll shoot them at you like blow dart. I'm not kidding. And get it under your skin. And that's a way for them to attach to you, to have a connection with you.
Huh.
And they'll use it with poison too sometimes. And it's entirely possible that they were targeted, and somebody broke into the house and put something there, put something in the home that caused this stuff to happen. I don't know what they do for a living. They PO'd the wrong person. That's entirely possible. And as far as the shaman showing up out of nowhere, if they're in tune to that, it's entirely possible that they were aware that, something was going on. Maybe it's somebody following one, trying to figure out what's going on with everything, or this particular, I'm just calling it a skinwalker. I'm totally just grabbing ideas out of the air just after listening to this. It's entirely possible that he just came up to them and said, listen, I know what's going on. And clearly he helped. He could also be the source of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He could be the source of it. And that's how he knew it was them. And he knew what was happening. He caused it.
So I apologize for leaving you guys. Really quickly, Monica, your take is some sort of entity, the shaman exists, and it was they had something that you suggest might be more of the skinwalker level versus
Well, yeah,
werewolf
I
entity.
think that I mean, it's definitely obviously a spiritual entity, right? I think that the parents were reading Little Red Riding Hood to the boy and it scared him, right?
Yeah.
So something that can get into your mind and knows what's scaring you latched onto that. And that's where the nightmares came from for the boy. And it worked its way in there. It saw what scared him, took that form, and then the nightmares just spread onto the parents. But what's making me think like Skinwalker or something similar to that is just the dirt in the closet being the source of the evil, right? Because I don't know if you heard when I was saying like Skinwalkers will tie things to you.
Okay, yeah, I heard that. I think.
Yeah. To to make that connection with you. And it's entirely possible they did that. It's also entirely possible he was the source of it all along.
The shaman.
The shaman, yeah.
Shaman, is I say shaman, not shaman?
Yeah.
Shaman, okay.
So it's entirely possible that, he was the cause of it. He didn't work there, but he knew it was them. It's all stopped after he wandered in there, right?
Why would he cause it and then stop it?
Good point.
Why do people do anything weird?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Like, why would, there's people, Munchausen, why do you make your kids sick and then cure them?
Yeah,
Attention. Some people get their rocks off like that. So
I think it's definitely.
Skinwalkers are not only limited to Navajo land.
I think it's definitely something. I mean, something spiritual for sure. The whole mud in the closet is kind of what throws me. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the mud in the closet. I mean, if this guy was the source of it, and he was just looking around the house and noticed weird, like he thought it was weird, he could have totally said, oh yeah, that's the source of it. That's the source of it. If he was the one causing it.
But here's the thing too. Yeah, Monica agreed. Text the mud in the closet. The boy did not bring it there, at least from what I gathered. Do you think maybe it was a shaman's mud that he planted there and broke in the house?
Could have been. Or it just could have been mud in the closet.
From before.
Yeah. And the guy's just saying that's the source of it because he knows it's going to stop now because he's going to stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm playing both sides here. I mean, he could have been the hero.
Absolutely.
He could have been the villain. He could have been either one because he just kind of popped up out of nowhere.
And to Texas' point, like you said, Monica, why do people do what they do? And Tex says, well, why would he be the villain and the hero? But maybe that was what motivated him. Maybe he wanted accolades. But here's a weird thing that I don't figure out. But this Shaman Joe is at the hospital dressed in medical fatigues, if you will.
What's that? Scrubs? I can go buy scrubs.
I mean, yeah, and he's not an employee there.
I mean, yeah.
So maybe he was spying on these people all along. He just happened to show up, because no one at the hospital knows no Joe. There's no orderly named Joe, no nurse named Joe. So that's kind of a mystery in itself. And maybe he planted himself. Maybe it was the source. I don't know. And Tex, if you want to further what you're talking about, I mean.
Well, I think Monica's on to something about it, them being targeted for sure. What targeted by what? I don't know.
And why? But you don't know what kind of, what does the dad do for a living? What does the mom do? Like, what kind of people they are.
Yeah. Did they make a deal with something and then renege on it? Or, I mean, you never know.
Don't make deals with the Fae.
Exactly. Exactly. We talked about that.
Keep those kids' teeth to yourself, people.
Yeah. The Fae, Monica and the Fae. Monica is knowledgeable about most things. And I really like your take on the Fae and all those things. In fact, we're getting end of the show here. Speaking of the Fae, Ronald Murphy will be on Tuesday night at 9, joining me and Krista, talking about the Fae and immortals and the elementals. That'll be a good show. Tex, what you got coming up, buddy?
Well,
He's got to think
No.
about that.
Texas is just preoccupied.
He's winging it.
No,
He's
I
winging
was-
it.
No, I was reading something here. I'm going to share this on the community page.
You can make it.
Barely.
I got a couple of minutes left, Tex. Tex's final thoughts.
Danielle's going live with talking about angels and demons in the morning. I'll share that on the community page. It's on her
Okay.
channel. Me and Monica will be doing the
True crime.
crime show tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Very nice.
And we'll roll right into
A night out.
yeah, we'll make it another night owl, infamous night owl show.
That'll be another 3-hour marathon for Monica.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, Monica, I'm gonna invade your show before Christmas. I like to come on and hang with you and Mr. Breezy on Thursday night at 10
Yep.
Central, 11 in the East. Of course, you can always find me and Tex every Thursday afternoon. And I'm guessing Tex will be with us on Saturdays for a while, which is awesome.
Well, we'll see.
I
If
would
you
like
can't
to say,
text always an open invitation for Saturday night with the gals because
Thanks,
they
sir.
all have rotating schedules.
yeah, we have
so,
live and
you know,
everything.
we do our thing. We talk everything as you know, Tex. And yeah, so I want to thank everybody for coming on in.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mark once again. Thanks to Sinfully. Thanks to True Ridge Walker, and of course the legendary Asian friend of ours, the Legend of Asia, Donnie Cho. Curry, I should say more specifically. I know he's not watching. He's probably off to bed.
He's passed out on his couch
Yeah.
with a game controller in his
He
hand.
got a game control in his left hand and a bottle of Bud Light in his other hand.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Donnie Cho. We know
Probably
how
still has
Donnie
his headset on.
I hate playing babysitter. I don't know if I could take care of this other guy. Jeez.
Got a
Bar
baby.
people. Yeah, well, you know.
I think that's the restaurant industry in general, and bar just.
Oh, you know it is, man. It is. No, it is. You know, it is. And you know what I did for 13 years, and I got burnt out because of that. And plus, not sleeping.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You know.
Oh.
So thank you everybody for coming on in. Hey guys, I'm getting close to 5,000 subscribers. If
Woohoo!
you are new, yeah, I'm about 100 plus or minus away. That'd be great to wake up Christmas morning with $5,000 in 5K in subscribers, I should say.
Yeah, that would make
It's
Bob
kind of.
happy.
I don't think it's doable, really. That'd be 100 people in 13 days, but hey, you never know.
I bet
Share
you
a like.
can do it. I bet
your
you
way
can
out.
do it.
Thanks, Monica. Thank you so much for that. Like on your way out, everybody. Subscribe to Texas Front Porch. Monica Rollins, our Paranormal World, the Blondes and Booze Paranormal Podcast. Paranormal Paul, Donnie Show. He says stuff, and boy, does he say stuff.
He says all
And don't
kinds of
forget
weird
to look
shit.
up Danielle
Diva.
Tea
I'm
Time
sorry,
with
Tex.
Tea Time with Danielle Diva.
Tea time. Let's total some tea with Danielle. And you know what? I could use a shot of whiskey in my tea when we sign off.
Honey. You need honey.
I
Got,
do have honey. I do have natural honey. Yeah, I do.
Get a tablespoon of honey and just take that, let it coat your throat. Honey is a natural antibiotic. If you have any kind of infection starting up in there, it'll get rid of it. It'll help with
Boy,
it.
you know, I've been sick for almost 2 weeks. Now today, all of a sudden, I can't talk.
It'll soothe your throat. Just drink the hot tea and eat the honey.
And thank you. And as Monica Rollins says, BMR has a nice package available on Amazon. Buy
That's
your
right.
books today.
It's a lovely package.
Donnie will put a nice ribbon on that package.
And Donnie will wrap it
He will wrap it.
just for you.
My package
Yep.
will be in good hands, to say the least. With that being said, I've said enough. Thanks for coming on in. Give me a like on the way out, everybody. Tex, Monica, love you. Talk to you later.
See y'all
Have a
later.
good one.